Hello, everyone. I'm Emily.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are the hosts of the I Don't Think So podcast. Each episode, we discuss a different story, theory, or mystery and decide if we think it's believable or if we really don't think so.
Here at the I Don't Think So podcast, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports, and we present our theories, stories, and mysteries on your favorite place to listen to podcasts every Wednesday. If you like what you hear, give us a like and a share, and definitely follow us on X or Instagram or Threads at I Don't Think So _EH. And you can check out our YouTube channel at IDTS Conspiracies.
Woo! We are wishing you a very happy 2024. Hope you had a good new year. Hope it was great. Hope you made it through.
Hopefully you were able to stay up. I barely made it.
Oh my God, it hit 8 p.m. and I was like, bedtime.
I don't need to stay up for this.
Well, and this is me, and maybe it's mean. I think the ball drop is so anticlimactic.
Oh, absolutely.
It drops so slowly, and then it's like, just sits at the bottom, and they're like, yay! And I'm like, that sucked.
Yeah, there's nothing really to see.
No. I did stay up till midnight, but it was tricky. We hit 7, and I was like, I know it gets earlier, but it was early. It was like 6:30, and I was like,
well, I was able to watch the Packer game, and then once the Packer game was done, I'm like, bedtime.
I'm going. You know what? There was nothing else to stay up for.
I can sleep soundly knowing that the Packers beat the Vikings. Especially when I was staying in Minnesota, and everyone's like, "There, you have no chance. There's no way. Everyone's running against the Packers, and they're gonna be embarrassed in Minneapolis." And then, like, after the game, it's like all of these Minnesota fans just standing in the street crying, and I'm like, I don't get into sports that often, but when I do,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a shit talker.
I just love the villain story. I want to be like, oh, we came to your house on New Year's Eve and ruined your firework display? Loved it.
Did we shit in your front yard? Yes, we did. Love that for us.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's like that big of a lead at the beginning where like you can't sit and talk shit all game because we're beating you.
I love when it's like a quick early lead because then it's like, now we don't have to pretend this whole game like you can talk shit. You can just be quiet.
Yep.
This whole game. How fun for me.
Who knew you'd come to the I Don't Think So podcast for sports commentary?
Sports. You're welcome.
That's all you got.
Yeah. Throwback to our days of EA Sports.
The real ones know.
The real ones know. The 2 episodes we put out.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. Okay. So we are on our cryptids month. And Hannah, I don't have a crazy long theory here for you, but this theory made me like really look into kind of cryptids in general. And just like, I didn't really want to do one that we've all heard of, because it's like Bigfoot's cool, but there's like so much information on Bigfoot, and same with like the Loch Ness Monster and those sorts of things. So I have a different lake monster here for you. It's the Scottish Highlands lesser known lake monster.
Interesting.
So you may have heard of the Loch Ness Monster, but this is the Morag of Loch Morar monster. So Morag is a lesser known but intriguing figure in the world of cryptozoology, which for those of you who don't know, I had to Google because I was like, the hell is cryptozoology? And it's literally like
the study of
cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no.
Well, it's not amateur hour over here. We know.
We know things. And I was like, can you imagine telling your parents that's the career you're going into?
No.
They'd be like, ha!
How are you going to make money?
Get a real job.
No kidding.
Not just shit on you. Maybe you make great money and I'm just wrong.
I hope so for you.
But yes. So it's a little bit lesser known figure in the world of cryptozoology, particularly in Scottish folklore. It's said to inhabit Lake Morar, which is a deep freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands. Morag shares similarities with the more famous Loch Ness Monster, often referred to as Nessie. Loch Morar is one of the deepest bodies of water in Scotland, and it's here that Morag is supposed lake monster has been the subject of various sightings and legends. Who knew that was going to be the word that tripped me up? So, Morag is typically described as a large serpent-like creature, similar in appearance to the other like lake monsters reported in Scotland and across the world. So, think of like between a mix between like a plesiosaurus and flippers.
I got you.
Yeah. Long neck and small flippers. But we have a guest.
Guest appearance
By Mittens. Hello.
I heard you talking about animals today.
I heard cryptozoology and had to come over. So the sightings of the Morag, the elusive creature reputed to inhabit Lake Morar in the Scottish Highlands, have added a layer of mystique and intrigue to like the deep freshwater loch. While less famous than Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, Morag's reported sightings contribute significantly to the folklore and cryptozoology of Scotland in general. So, the tales of Morag date back several decades, with accounts varying in detail and description. Witnesses, if you can hear sniffing, that is Mittens coming in hot.
Breathing on you.
You've been sniffed. You're welcome. That's good luck, I'm sure of it. Come here. Anyways, the tales of Morag date back several decades, with accounts varying in detail and description. Witnesses often describe seeing a large serpent-like creature with humps moving through the water. These sightings have been sporadic, adding to like this very elusive nature. One of the most significant and well-documented sightings occurred in 1969. There was two local men, while fishing on Loch Morar, encountered what they described as a large serpent-like creature. Alarmed by their sightings, they reportedly shot at the creature, although it's really unclear if they hit it. Which I'm like, that sounds more American than Scotland.
Yeah, I agree. I shot at that thing, nothing happened.
I saw a big thing in the water, didn't know what it was, so I shot at it. What are we doing? This incident stands out due to the clarity of the description provided by the witnesses and the reaction like it provoked, because like they genuinely like shot into the water. Over the years, there have been various other reports from locals and visitors who claim to have seen the Morag. These accounts often share similarities in terms of the creature's appearance and behavior, lending a degree of consistency to the tales. However, like most cryptid sightings, these accounts are largely based on like personal testimonies, and there's not a ton of like photographic or physical evidence.
Sure.
So Morag, much like the Nessie, has become part of like local folklore and a subject of interest for cryptozoologists and enthusiasts of like the paranormal, because apparently those two things are connected. While less famous than the Loch Ness Monster, Morag has contributed to the rich tapestry of Scottish folklore that revolves around mysterious creatures that inhabits its many lochs. With as many so a little bit about like some skepticism and explanations for you. As with many cryptids, sighting of Morag are often met with skepticism. Explanations for the reported sightings range from misidentification of common animals or floating objects to hoaxes or lies. The deep and murky waters of Loch Morar provide an environment ripe for imagination and mystery, often leading to speculation about what might lurk beneath the surface. Thank you, Mittens. Such a good time. But that is all I pretty much have on Morag. Morag. So I'm sure if you say it with a Scottish accent, Morag. It's a little bit better. But yeah, I just found it interesting. They did take a picture, and I can send it and we can put it on our X and our Instagram and Threads. But it very much to me just looks like what I've seen the Loch Ness Monster depicted as. Like a big, chunky thing in the water, but just under the surface.
I kind of feel like, here's the thing. If you believe in the Loch Ness Monster, it's probably the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then also, it's like, if they can fake pictures of the Loch Ness Monster, they can probably fake the same thing, just in a different lake. Like, they're just trying to make it stick.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know if I just don't love water. Like, deep, murky water. It could be a massive catfish, and I'm terrified. Like,
You can't really tell. Like, I feel like there's like we discovered or talked about with mermaids.
Yeah.
There's so much of like the ocean and water that's been not researched or discovered because it's just so much and so big that I'm sure there's a million things down there that we have absolutely no idea of.
yeah, and you're just swimming on the surface. My nightmare, right, is that I am in a plane over the ocean and it goes down and I don't die with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to, if I'm floating
In open water.
in open water where like the next thing beneath me is a creature or it's miles until the sand, I am just taking a big breath of water. I'm done.
Yeah. I just like, to me, my one hesitation is like if the biggest notable sighting was like 50 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where's it been?
Would you been doing?
Unless they shot it, which then you'd think the body would float to the surface, right?
Or they hid it. You never know.
Conspiracy.
This man actually is, they're not well. Or, no, I don't know. Let's see, I should have Googled some Loch Ness Monster stuff too, like Nessie stuff. When did Nessie appear? And are these
I thought it was like the 30s and 40s.
Okay. I was like, and are these locks connected?
Oh, maybe it's traveled.
Mhm.
Maybe there's like underground water channels that it can take.
Well, my next question with it, right, is obviously this thing must have gills.
Yeah.
Because it could not, there's no way no one has seen it or knows it exists if it breathes air.
Right. That's
And
what I'm
the
saying.
same with Nessie. So it's like, why does it ever come to the surface?
Right. That doesn't make sense.
And it's not like it comes up and like eats something and goes back down.
One, what is the function? This is like some real biology shit.
Oh, here we go.
What's the function of it having such a long neck if it doesn't need to put its head out of the water? Because if it's swimming, why would it have such a long neck? You know what I'm saying?
Water dynamics.
Like it wouldn't. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, because think of like every other marine creature that's big.
Short neck.
Short, no neck.
No neck.
Think of a whale, no neck.
Or a fish. Shark.
Neck, shoulders.
Trying to think of any marine animal that has a neck. I can't think of a single one.
Mm-mm.
Like
Except
a true, like, long neck like that. Like, obviously, if you're talking about, like, oh, shark, it can turn its head. But
Not really. It's its whole body moving.
I guess you're right.
I mean, maybe it can turn its
It's
head.
probably part of its spine.
But isn't
Or, like,
Oh.
okay, technically, like, an otter is a marine animal.
But it breathes air.
And it breathes air, but it has a neck.
But not a long one. Like, think of what the adaptation of a long neck is for. It's to be able to reach things.
Right.
Think of like a giraffe or even like animals that don't have that excessively long of necks. The idea is that they can reach tall branches and reach into like high places for food. This would just be the expectation then that like this animal, for whatever reason, like only eats things that they can like have to stretch their head out for.
Which doesn't make sense.
If you never see a sighting.
And it's trying to swim. Yeah. I'm calling it a hoax. I'm out.
I just don't think they exist. I don't think Nessie exists.
No,
And
I think it's
don't-
all a hoax.
I don't know if I think it's a hoax. I think there's like shit in water we don't understand. Like big old catfish and fish that grow to be much larger than what we ever expect them to be. And your imagination kind of runs wild and it's dark and it's murky and it's something splashes and it's big. You're like, oh, good God.
And your eyes are like playing tricks on you.
And the water refracts and reflects and you've already got this idea in your head that like Nessie exists, right? Not even necessarily that it exists, but like you have that picture in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, I saw Nessie.
For sure.
I don't know. Also, like where I can get into the weeds of this a little bit, but like there needs, for this thing to still exist, there needs to be a breedable population.
Right.
So there's got to be more than one And we've only ever really talked about, Nessie and now Morag, but are in two different completely locks. And so it's just, again, you're like, how are they living?
Yeah, I'm out.
I don't think it exists. I feel like this is one of my first I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Maybe you guys have a different opinion, and that's fine. Ready for my would you rather?
Yeah.
Would you rather, if you knew you weren't going to get hurt, explore the ocean or explore space?
Space, I think. I'm not a big water gal.
That's what I always say, and everyone's like, why? And I'm like, the ocean horrifies me.
I feel like zero gravity would be fun.
I think
if I know I'm not going to get hurt.
Yeah, I think that's a big caveat.
I get to come back.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Come back from either. I couldn't do the ocean. If you shoved me in a submarine, I'm having a panic attack.
Oh, absolutely. You were literally think about like the submarine like implosion.
Yeah, I went to go view the Titanic or whatever.
Not a fan.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you're gonna have to knock me out because I'm gonna be stealing all the oxygen as I'm hyperventilating. They'll be like, "Go take a nap."
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't. So space. Answer that question, everybody. Would you rather, if you knew you were like gonna be safe, explore the ocean, and why, and or space?
There you go.
Good questions.
Good first cryptid.
Woo!
Well, my little extra bonus feature actually kind of goes back to our first conversation of New Year's, because I remember a few episodes back when we were talking about like traveling or going someplace for the holidays or whatever. I had said that I would love to experience like a Times Square on New Year's. But you know what?
You're right.
I watched a TikTok the other day that I am now in the I don't think so. I'm never going there. And I didn't consider this problem until watching this and then realizing that I'm not your girl for this. They were interviewing people about their like bathroom strategies because there's no public restroom. Like you have to get to Times Square at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
And then you cannot go to the bathroom like anywhere. Like there's no porta potties. You can't go into businesses. Like, so people are like wearing pads and diapers and like shitting themselves to watch the ball drop.
So every cute couple you see has like at least one of them has pissed their pants.
Oh yeah. Or you are like severely dehydrated, I guess.
True.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just like not drinking any water. I'm not eating anything all day long to watch the ball drop so I don't have to go to the bathroom.
That's insane. Well, and I've also seen like, I'm sure it was a TikTok, but like the crowd like is insane.
Yeah.
You are stuck in a, like, whatever your body is taking up, and that alone, you're stuck there for hours.
Mm-hmm.
I never even thought about the bathroom situation.
I never thought about it either. Like, I guess we live in a community where you could go into any, like, gas station, coffee shop, whatever. Most of them. There's definitely some coffee shops or places that I know like they won't let you use the bathroom unless you pay for something.
Right.
But most places around where we are, you can like go to the bathroom even if you're not like
a paying customer
purchasing something, right? And that's not like the case for most places.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like even when we go to like the cities, you can't just like walk into a restaurant and go to the bathroom. And so like that's not something that's normal to me. So I didn't even think about like in New York City. Like that's probably somewhat normal for them to know that like I'm going out and I'm not going to be able to go to the bathroom.
Right, until I get to where I'm going and I pay for it.
But like if you can't leave,
you're screwed.
And then this leads me to my other tangent. They interviewed this man.
Uh-oh. So it just smells like piss and poop. I'm sorry.
This old man who's like, they're like, oh, what's your strategy or whatever? And I brought like these pads. Like I don't wear Deprens. I bring pads because they're more absorbent, which whatever, like women's like period pads. And he goes, you know, you have to wear one every day, but I only have to use them today. And I wanted to be like, and this is the problem with America.
What do you mean every day? You think I'm on my period 24/7?
And they're like the thick ass, like maxi pads. Like, not only do you think I have my period every day, but you think I'm like bleeding out.
You think
all day, every day.
I have gallons of blood exiting my body every single day? Why do you think there's any woman that exists?
Well, and on top of that, you're also just like fine with that. Like you're gonna still sit and tell me that I am less as a person because I'm a woman. I'm not as strong, but you can bleed out this much after wear a pad every day.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm like, well, here's all these problems. I don't want to be around that man. I don't want to piss myself because here's the thing. Have I gone days where I'm like, wow, I didn't go to the bathroom at all today?
Yeah.
Yes, but also think about this. You're going from like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight's when the ball drops, but you're not getting out of there into a bathroom like quickly.
You're not getting out of that Times Square for another couple
like
hours.
1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
I can't. I couldn't imagine. So you have to pee your pants. You're screwed. You are having to pee your pants.
Yeah.
Maybe you take Imodium and you're like, I will not shit for days. Who knows?
Yeah, you can back yourself up, right?
But also, going back to that man, I have a beef with people not knowing things and being like, I'm cool being ignorant, and then so confidently saying their ignorant views. Listen, it's not a woman's job to tell you that she doesn't bleed 24/7. It's not a woman's job.
That's like basic health class, like you were taught that.
Right. Do maybe you not know the extent to which she bleeds? Sure. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe she's light, maybe she's heavy, maybe she's a weeker, maybe she's 3 days. Who knows? Whatever. Maybe you don't know that specifically. But for you to assume publicly on an interview that women bleed every day and that they use the thickest pads, those overnight pads that go from like the front all the way to the back, that are like,
you're pretty much wearing a diaper.
Military grade duty, could take a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm wearing one of those every day?
There's so much wrong with the video.
Oh my God. And how old was he?
50s.
No woman in your life
Never
has ever mentioned BT Dub's not on my period.
I'm not wearing a pad right now. Also, this is like thinking too that every woman wears pads.
Also, have you ever had sex?
No.
Really not. Because I'm shooting it out there. Maybe they weren't on their period. And was he, maybe he could be gay and just doesn't have sex with women. That's also an assumption. But I
don't know.
You gotta wear this every day. Google exists.
There's so much levels of wrong with it. And so now I rescind my want and desire to be in Times Square for New Year's.
That's fair.
No longer wanted.
I just think it'd be too many people. I didn't even think about any of the other stuff.
I didn't think about the bathroom situation until that happened. I'm like, oh my God. And you know what my problem would have been? Is I would have planned a trip. I would have been there. And I would have lost my spot because I would have had to piss 2 hours in.
Yeah. I can't hold it that long.
No.
Oh, well, thank you for that fun one. We will see you guys next week. If you like what you hear, go ahead, share, subscribe, do what you got to do. Follow us on everything at I don't think so _EH or our YouTube, IDTS Conspiracies.
Bye.